Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Today will be a very interesting market open. Everyone wants to know what is going to happen with markets. Pre-market was absolutely brutal. How is Wall Street going to react? We already know how Bitcoin and crypto reacted. Over the weekend, there was a brutal sell-off, and we had the largest liquidation event in history. So, are we going to see the same thing today with Wall Street? And are we going to see more bloodbath? Let's discuss what caused all this and what more to expect. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out the day at 95.3. The thing is, when I turned off this computer on Friday, I remembered, and we were at 105. So we are $10,000 off from our close, or when I streamed on Friday versus now. That's the difference. So so we came down a lot, and yesterday we went all the way down to about 91.2. Okay, we barely clung on to 90s before, and that was all before my Sunday walk video, and then things got really crazy afterwards. I think most of you guys know why. It's because of the tariff situation. So we are starting out the day actually better than expected. Dow is minus 400. NASDAQ is minus 354. Okay, so the pre-market was way worse. But as you guys know, besides Bitcoin falling, which is coming up a little bit, the alts were absolutely decimated. So before Q&A, I'm going to go over some of the alts, especially the good ones that got decimated. It felt like 2017. We haven't seen a day like yesterday since 2017, since 8 years ago. We haven't seen a day where alts went down like 30%. Like, we just didn't see it. But you know what? It happened. And that means it's a really good buying opportunity. But before I get to that, let's see what else happened. Well, obviously the tariffs, right? They are going to be put into place tomorrow. They were signed. The executive order was signed over the weekend. And Canada is panicking. So is Mexico. And so is China. Now, Canada is panicking in not a good way because they have retaliated. Rather than have an open discussion, Canada decided to just retaliate and throw 25% tariffs as well on all American goods. So they're trying to look tough in front of Trump. I don't know if that's the right move. Mexico is not doing that. China is not even doing that. They want to come to the table and talk. They want to negotiate. They don't want to start a trade war. But Canada is starting a trade war. But I saw this for the very first time. Trump has said what he wants, right? Because before, when he signed the executive order, he didn't actually say specifically what he wants. Now, he did sign the executive order. So he didn't actually say specifically what he wants. Now, he did sign the executive order. He didn't actually.
President, what does Canada and Mexico need to do for you to lift the tariffs? What are specifically you want? That have to balance out their trade, number one. That we've got to stop people from pouring into our country, and we've stopped it. They haven't stopped it. We've stopped it. They have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China. Fentanyl has killed this year at least 200,000 people. is pouring in from China through Mexico and Canada, and they've got to stop it. And if they don't stop it, the tariffs are going to get worse, a lot worse.
Okay, so that was like 3 different things among 3 different countries, kind of all convoluted together. So if I'm placing things together, number 1, the trade differences, that needs to be balanced out. Trump has said that about Canada before, right? Number 2, stopping people at the border. I'm assuming he's referring to Mexico on that one, right? Rather than us always trying to build a wall and stop people. So he's, looking at Mexico for that one. And 3, this fentanyl thing. He's blaming China on that one. And that's coming through both sides, Canada and Mexico. And there's a trade deficit too between US and China. So it's kind of like all these things all together. And that's why he's just like bundling them all together. So these are his demands, right? And he said, you know what? This doesn't end there. The EU's next. EU doesn't take our cars, doesn't take our farm products, right? We're going to impose tariffs on the EU soon, and the UK. So Trump is looking at throwing tariffs everywhere, left and right. He wants to balance out the trade worldwide. He feels like no one wants our products. We take everyone else's products, but no one takes our products, and this is not fair. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes, right? The main point is we want the trade to be fair. We want American goods. We want all these companies to start manufacturing in the U.S., to start building and hiring here, stateside, but that's going to take time, right? It's going to take time for them to make that move. So in an interim, does that mean price of goods are going to start skyrocketing, right? And does that mean that inflation numbers will start going to go up? And in a surprising move, Trump was bashing Fed Chair Powell for not cutting rates. And now he changed his mind and he said it was the right move not to cut the rate in this last FOMC meeting. In a total 180, he was really bashing him on Truth Social after this last FOMC meeting last week, saying that he should have cut and he caused inflation and he should have done something about it. And now he's like, yeah, it was the right move not to cut. Really weird. I don't know why. But one thing that's coming out of this is China, supposedly, it's been rumored that China's coming to the table. And this trade deficit thing, they're ready to make a deal where they will be buying a whole bunch of American goods to kind of stop this trade war thing from escalating, right? So this is exactly what Trump wants. Now, I don't know if this is going to actually solve everything or if this is going to even go into place, because from the details of this, what they really want are those chips from NVIDIA. They want to expand upon technology. It's not like they want to buy more Ford cars, okay? They want to buy AI chips. So I don't know if that's actually going to come to be. So we'll see. But how does this all relate to Bitcoin? As you can see, Bitcoin's coming up right now. Rather than go down, it's coming up. And a lot of crypto are recovering a little bit, just slightly. We're not plumbing back up to 100,000, but we may. We have seen this before. It's not like we haven't seen this level before. In fact, last month, we saw many times where Bitcoin dropped to this level. So it's not like we're at some unprecedented level, okay? We have seen this many times. But there are some that think that the tariff escalation could actually propel Bitcoin forward. Not downwards, maybe temporarily, maybe just, slight hiccup, distraction, But we could actually go higher because of this. Bitwise thinks so. Now, why do they think so? Well, because they say Trump, with the tariffs and everything, will likely drive down treasury yields by weakening the dollar. And when you weaken the dollar, that means lower interest rates. And that means, well, when the DXY goes down, right? When the dollar goes down, interest rate goes down, investors are going to put their money somewhere and they're going to put it into Bitcoin, right? That's what Bitwise is arguing. Obviously, yesterday, that didn't happen, but long term, they're saying. Because the tariffs, this tariff thing is, if it's going to last for years, eventually Wall Street will, they'll get used to it. Right now, it's like overreaction once again. Whenever we have a big sell-off, it's always an overreaction. But long term, if that's the case, right, it could definitely be good. And if you think about it, if the price of goods, if inflation starts going up again, what is that going to do? That's going to cause Powell to cut rates, right? That means we may be cutting back down to zero. The only problem is if we get back to zero and inflation is still going higher because of the tariffs, then Powell has no more ammunition left. That's the fear, that we may get to zero and inflation starts going up. Then what? Because that's the only thing he could do. There's nothing else he can do. Hopefully we don't get to that point. However, let's say we don't go up, we go down more. We got this trader, Peter Brandt, that says even if we fall down to 80,000, Bitcoin is still fine. Still not bearish. Still be in a bull trend. FUD and FOMO often creates blow-offs. Too early to know for sure, though. While not a prediction, Bitcoin could go to sub 80K for me. Sub 80K. And still be a bull trend, right? So, there are some that remain bullish no matter what, like myself. And it does not matter what Bitcoin does short term, because we know long term it's heading higher, right? Now, yesterday, of course, you guys know, we had pretty much the worst liquidation day ever. A lot of people go to CoinGlass and look at this number right here. And this is far, far off. Just this number alone would make it the worst liquidation day ever in crypto history. 2.32 billion of longs and shorts wrecked, but mostly longs. But we had some shorts wrecked too yesterday. Okay. However, we had Ben Zoof from Bybit say, hey, that's wrong, because just on Bybit alone, we had more than 2 billion liquidations. So total, we probably had about 8 to 10 billion of people liquidated. So, wow, it's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, we cleared the board yesterday. Long-term holders, no problem. But people that were trading, a lot of people got wiped out, completely wiped out, right? Unfortunately, that's the name of the game. But those of you guys that didn't, those of you guys that are long-term holders, and you're looking for a buying opportunity, or you have been DCing, right? This is about as good a time as any. Or I should argue, no, this is one of the best times, because we don't see a lot of 20-30% dip days for alts. In a surprising move, though, Microstrategy did not buy any Bitcoin. The last few weeks, there was like 4 consecutive weeks or 5, MicroStrategy bought like 500 million or $1 billion of the Bitcoin. Yesterday or today would have been the best time to be buying, yet they did not buy. Saylor did not buy the dip. I think he's also maybe a little afraid of the tariff situation, and he doesn't know where it's going to go. Unfortunately, because today would have been a really good time to buy and load up on Bitcoin. But like I've been saying, it's not like we haven't seen this level before. In December, we saw this many times. Many times. We dipped down. Like, just look at it. So overall, if you're arguing, we just went sideways. We didn't go anywhere, right? It's not like we fell down to the 80s or the 70s or 60s again. No, we're still in the 90s. Yeah, we lost, we were hovering above the hundreds for a long time and it looked like we were ready to go up, and we lost that momentum. I saw a really funny meme picture someone posted. I couldn't find it, but it showed this girl in front of this man figure, and she was all cheerful, like representing the crypto community, saying, "Oh, Bitcoin strategic reserve is coming," and then the guy holding a package behind his hand, and it was labeled global trade war. That's kind of how things are right now. We were all expecting greatness from this Bitcoin reserve, but the next move is dealing with global trade war. But afterwards, things will get better. Things will get better. But right now, we're just going sideways, waiting for this to clear over, or blow over, I should say. And then we'll be on our way. Once again, we are extremely oversold. If you look at the RSI in the 4-hour, we are low. Same points as before, when Bitcoin has bottomed out and has gone back up in major ways. In fact, we're more oversold than in December when Bitcoin fell down to 92 and 91,000. You have to go all the way back to July and August when Bitcoin fell down to the low 50s to equal how oversold we are now. Right? So it's a golden DCA opportunity right now, right? And speaking of which, so I pulled this up. CMC, they have a Made in USA tab. So I pulled this up. Just look at the bloodbath here, right? Things have gotten a little bit better. They were in like the minus 30%. Some were even, I think, minus 40% yesterday at the low point, right? In terms of these American-based projects, which ones are oversold? You could argue almost all of them, right? XRP now at 235. So it's like we reset back. We went back in a time machine, maybe like a couple months, okay? And yesterday, it went as low as $2. So, man, good buy opportunity. Solana below 200. Good buying opportunity, even though this 24 hours only shows down 7%, 8%. I don't know if that's right. It seems like it did go down a lot more than that, but you could see XRP at minus 17%. These two are definitely big buys. Dogecoin, Made in America, minus 14%. Cardano, minus 18% at 71 cents. It was just hovering around $1. Okay, Chainlink, another great one, minus 14%, hovering around 19 cents. Avalanche, another great one, minus 17% at $25. These are absolute steals. Sui, minus 12% at $3.21. They topped out at like 5 something just a few weeks ago. Man, and then you got Hedera right afterwards, about minus 15% at 233. These are all great American-based projects that's going to do well this year. Great time to be loading up. I'm going to skip over a couple of these. And then you got like Near Protocol, which is also involved with AI. You got Uniswap here. one of the biggest dexes out there. You got the Trump coin. Not to say that's a good one, but you got it in here. You got Ondo. Ondo is, in the RWA space. Tokenizing treasury yield and American base. You got Aave. It's like a big DeFi project on top of ETH, American based. You got like Algorand, that's also minus 17%. Wow. Render in the AI space. Man, these are all good project guys. Good projects. Stacks and Injective. Stacks is layer 2 for Bitcoin. They've been weak for a while now, but still. Programmable layer on top of Bitcoin. You got Injective, another L1, both minus 21%. You got a lot of others too. WorldCoin is from Sam Altman. I'm not a fan of it. It's in the AI space, but it's all about like scanning your eyes, so it's like really intrusive. So I'm not a fan of that. But you got a lot of others. A lot of people have been talking about XCN, which is kind of in the finance industry. Melania's on there too. And then you got a lot of memes in here. Memes got absolutely crushed. And I did say that during my Sunday walk video that it's probably not a good time to load up on memes. If the market continues to be weak, memes are going to get crushed even more. So meme coin traders are not, they're usually full lettuce hands, not diamond crusted hands, not like the XRP army or, the Link Marines. Yeah, I don't know what you call the other people. There are just so many guys. There's so many great opportunities right now. It doesn't mean that you have to go all in, right? I think what most people have a problem with is they see a day like today, they're like, oh my God, we're down, I'm going to put all my money in. No, that's not how you do it, right? When you DCA, you either set yourself on a schedule, or you break it up in increments, right? Meaning like, hey, if you have a certain amount, maybe you put 20% right now, 20% later, and then another 20% later. Like, you know what? You break it up in case we have more volatility, right? Because the worst thing is you put it all in, we have more volatility, we go down further, and you're like, oh man, I'm out of money, right? So that's the number one thing for most people is they run out of money, they can't continue DCA. So make sure you set yourself either on a schedule or always have a reserve if you can. If you can't, then just continue to hodl. Just hodl. We will come back. But right now, it's scary. It's scary with all the uncertainty with the tariffs. But Trump's got a plan. Whether it's the right one or not, it could be. Maybe he's 10 steps ahead of us and he knows what the end game is and it's going to be better for all of us. So we'll just have to give him the benefit of the doubt at this point, I guess. All right, let's do some Q&A. NMCT, thoughts on Sol while it went down only 8% and ETH dropped 30%? Is it because Trump basically chose Sol over ETH? So happy I have Sol over Bitcoin. I can't comment on why ETH went down so much, but I saw a lot of people really disappointed about ETH yesterday. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't just ETH that went down so much, right? A lot of things got hammered, but ETH did go down a lot yesterday. I don't want to kick a horse while it's down, but I mean, Sol's just, in my opinion, better. But it's not down 30%. If you look at it, ETH is down 16. It's down less than XRP. XRP is what surprised me. XRP was holding really, really strong for so long, and then everyone decided to dump it yesterday. Same thing with Cardano. Cardano's down 18%, even more. And this is after recovery too. When we were down to like, at this point, I was watching it very carefully. When we were down to like 92, 91, man, XRP was down to like $2. I think it even slid down to like, it went down to $1.70. And then someone, I don't know if you guys know this because this is the chart on Coinbase. Someone decided to like, I don't know how much. They probably put like 100 million in Coinbase because it went from like $1.95 and then it shot up to like 270, right? And it hovered around 230, 240s, while on most exchanges it was still at like $2. So someone pumped a ton of money into Coinbase trying to pump it back, and it didn't really work. So they, I don't know who that was, but they had so much that they pumped. The good news is it does seem like now with the market open, I've been talking about 30 minutes now. We haven't gone down more. It seems like those that panic sold, you know what caused this? All this, right? Obviously was Asia, because it wasn't Wall Street because we were closed. So it was the Asian markets dumping everything they had, right? Like China, Japan, everyone was dumping everything they had. And that caused all the liquidations and stuff. In America right now, obviously, there's no dumping. So America right now is buying, which is great. So I think maybe that could be the bottom. Because right now, if Wall Street was going to dump, they would have dumped already. But we're not seeing dumping. We're seeing buying. A lot of alts are not going up yet. It's just Bitcoin right now. XRP didn't move. Sui moved a little bit. Solana didn't move. Link didn't move. Injective didn't move. ADA didn't move. It was really just Bitcoin moving right now. So the good thing is we're not seeing more dumping. So that could have been it. This was just caused by Asia, and they were just massive dumping everything. And now North America wakes up and we are buying. We're DCAing. If you look at Bitcoin on a 4-hour, it was so oversold at 20 on the RSI down here. You can see we're starting to flip up on the 4-hour. So if you're looking at this, pretty darn good. But again, to put things in context, it's not like we haven't seen that before. Just last month in January, we fell down to 89,000. And then guess what happened afterwards? 89,000 all the way to a new high of 109. So again, it's not like, oh my God, we just did something we haven't seen, since 2017. No, we saw this just a few weeks ago, and we saw this many times before, right? So this is a good way to clear out all the liquidate all the leverage people. And yes, we had some panic, but man, if you look at how good of an opportunity this is to pick up the alts did reset a lot more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin held very strong. The alts are way lower than they were before. So really good time to be loading up. We'll see. Today will be interesting. As long as Wall Street doesn't all of a sudden turn around and start panic dumping everything, we could be holding and recovering right back up. And it's looking pretty good right off the bat right now. What did I miss? Hold on. Sorry, I missed a couple super chats. James Bros scooped up Pepe, still bullish on this cycle. I just don't know about, like, right now, the timing of memes probably ain't the best because with all the fear, memes dump the hardest. But overall, yes, I think Pepe will do well. What do you think about Gala in the coming bull season? Not good at all. That project is not managed well. And a lot of people left. A lot of core people left. Maniac, is it smart to keep loading up on stacks? It's okay. It's gotten weaker after a Nakamoto upgrade. I think a lot of Bitcoin maxis don't like what they did, but hey, in terms of programmable Bitcoin, it's still the biggest language and layer that people use. Legendarian beats. Grants for US crypto mining with the new admin. Question mark. Well, I have the same question mark. I don't know. I'm sure it's being talked about. I just don't know what kind of grants they will give. I really don't. It makes a lot of sense. I think stateside they give more grants like Texas. But I don't know about a federal grant. Let's see. Coinbase and Microstrategy, they're both down about 5%. You know, quite honestly, this isn't that bad. I actually thought, based on how crypto reacted over the weekend, I thought today would be like a minus like 2,000, minus 3,000 day for Dow. And I thought everything would crash, right? So obviously that hasn't happened yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't want to see it happen. It does seem like Wall Street, yes, there's a little panic, but they're not panicking too badly. But, you know, sometimes you do see things change after lunch. It escalates. Hopefully that's not the case. Do I like Proppy? Not really. No. Michael says, I dumped another 50K in the market because you made me a real man. Good for you. I mean, today is a good day to be DCing, but it doesn't mean that we can't go back down, right? The main thing about DCing is you got to discipline yourself, either do a schedule or don't go all in. Make sure you have some cash on the side always so that you can take advantage. Otherwise, if you can't, you just got to stay put. We are trending up. We are definitely trending up right now. Except some of the alts are not. SUI is trending upwards. XRP is staying steady. Solana is staying steady. SUI is trending upwards. Bitcoin is. Link is staying steady. I think there's still a lot of hesitation on alts right now. A lot of retail investors like, I'm not so sure it's a good time to be loading up. But you could see Bitcoin is definitely trending up right now. And Bitcoin is still very oversold on many of these levels. You look at the 1 hour RSI, it's still in the middle. It's not oversold, but there's still room to grow. And 4 hours definitely oversold. 15-minute hasn't peaked out yet. So Bitcoin can still definitely run. Caesar, I don't have any thoughts about Swiftcoin. An obelisk. Stop asking me about mine token. I don't have any thoughts on it. Constantly spamming me about mine token is not going to get you an answer. Michael. Good for you. I love how strong you have become. You know, most people, especially newcomers, and even old timers too, no one likes to see a big dip, right? Even yesterday when things were going down, it's like, you know, even for me, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening again, right? But I've seen it many times. I knew it was going to happen. But, you know, the main thing is, I know we're going to recover, but a lot of new people in this space do not think that. They panic sell because they're like, oh my God, we're just, you know, I'm going to lose all my money. I got to get out, right? And that's why a lot of people lose a lot of money, because they don't understand, or they can't control their emotions. But Bitcoin's looking pretty good. We're doing good right now. We're going up. Isn't it scary that Sailor didn't buy? Yeah, you know what? Maybe this is a smart play. Maybe it's a smart play to say, hey, you know what? Rather than endlessly buy, how about I take it easy and just cool it a little bit, and wait it out and see. You know, like, I know all of us want to see him to be just like a, you know, just a wrecking ball and just buy unlimited amount of Bitcoin at all times, but this was probably the smart move, not to just like go all in, and just wait it out, right? But now that he's seeing the market react and coming back, he's probably going to. Bitcoin's moving pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Man, it's just really Bitcoin. Nothing else is moving. Well, Sui is. You really don't see anything moving right now. It's just Bitcoin. Yeah. Surprising thing is nothing is moving right now except Sui. Sui and Bitcoin. But that's a good thing though. That means there's still time to buy. Still time to load up. If Bitcoin continues to rally up today and continues to go to 97, 98, 99, and we somehow rally up back to 100,000, man, those alts are going to start moving real quick. So Yeah, Sui's the only one moving right now. Another reason why I've stressed to have a good amount of Bitcoin in people's portfolios, because it's the strongest, right? It saves people's portfolios when we do have corrections. Thank you for that $2 super chat. I can't pronounce your name, but thank you. Debo Deep. Hey, George, once we're past the scary time on tariffs, people will start treating Bitcoin as the best hedge against inflation rather than tech stock. It already started happening. I mean, that's why Wall Street is buying so much of the ETFs. It's already becoming a narrative. So, yes. Otherwise, Bitcoin would not have gone up to 100,000 plus. Thank you, Michael. SNX as an RWA play. What's SNX again? Synthetic. You know, I used to be very down on synthetic because it was all about creating synthetic tokens, which would be seen as securities in America. But now, you know, the laws around security tokens have changed. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And plus, I met the founder, Kane, and he's a good guy. Sui's like recovering like a madman right now. I don't know who's buying Sui, but they are definitely flying. Dustin says, oops, I have the wrong camera view. Dustin, Degen tried. I can only keep cash for about a week. Does that mean you bought? Is that what you mean? Grandma, thanks for keeping me calm. You're welcome. Those of you guys that have tuned in late, right? Obviously, you guys know we are in uncertain times right now with the tariffs. We don't know how the other countries are going to react. It does seem like they're coming to the table, except Canada. But Wall Street is limiting their sell-off right now, which is good. Bitcoin is reacting positively since market open, which is good. We're not selling off more. In fact, we're hitting about 97,000 soon. Alts are starting to move a little bit, especially SUI. The others haven't moved so much, just Bitcoin have. So things are looking pretty positive right now. But that doesn't mean it's all over. There are a lot of great pickups right now, I would say. A lot of great pickups. Michael, I hope you didn't do that. 102 CME gap. You know, I'm glad you brought it up because in the past, people only say CME gaps to the downside or bring up CME gaps to the downside, but I guess there's upside ones too. It would be terrific if Wall Street leads the way today, or I should say not Wall Street. I don't want to give them all the credit, but if North America leads the recovery, we all start buying and DCAing, and Bitcoin goes right back up to 100,000 today. The way we're going right now, we're not that far off. And plus, Bitcoin is extremely oversold. How terrific would that be? And then it would seem really silly for everyone to be panicking. CTX. I don't know what CTX is. Cryptex Finance. No idea what that is. Really a small, low market cap. Yeah, things are starting to move. Things are starting to move, guys. Everything is starting to move a little bit. You can see it. The alts are even starting to move. Vincent, I covered the total liquidation. It's actually wrong. It's actually way more than it shows. This shows 2.34 billion, which is the biggest in history, but it's actually wrong. It's more like 8 to 10 billion because there was more than 2 billion on Bybit alone. And he explains it's because they don't send all the data to CoinGlass. So it's actually a lot more than that. But imagine how much fees they actually make. So for exchanges, they don't care if you get liquidated, right? As long as there's volume, man, all the exchanges make out like bandits with how much volume there is. But look at what's happening right now. We are recovering really well. Really well. We're back to 97.3. We are buying back strong right now. Good. The way we're moving right now, let's check the volume. Let's see. Got a good volume spike. We're still very oversold. We got like the 1 hour, we got plenty of room to grow. 4 hour, we barely start our recovery. The way we're moving now, let's see the day. The day we didn't even flip above yet. On a daily chart, we're actually about the same point as the previous times in January and December when we start flipping above. So it's looking pretty good. And Wall Street, surprisingly, is not overreacting. It really is. I really expected today to be a horrible, horrible day. I thought it would be like minus 2,000 right off the bat, and it's not. So, good for Wall Street. We might be going right back up to 100,000 today. Look at it, 97.6. We may go right back up to 99 today or 100,000. CTX and Link together create a powerful partnership enhancing decentralized finance with secure and innovative data selection. Okay. Great. I don't know what CTX is. I held on like a roller coaster meme. Good for you. What's CTX? Oh. Jose, you asked about Luca before. Yeah, I was. No one has time to think about it because of the Bitcoin dip. Okay, at face value, it was very stupid for Dallas to do that. It's basically like trading LeBron in his prime away. Without LeBron asking to be traded. That's what they did to Luca. He didn't ask to be traded and stuff. But obviously behind the scenes, they must have hated Luca enough to do it. For one thing or another, maybe he's, there was reports that he's coming into training camp fat, overweight. Maybe he doesn't listen to them. Maybe he's doing stuff behind the scenes. Man, we're almost at 98, guys. Maybe there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But still, they could have asked more. If they shopped around, it was basically an even trade for Anthony Davis, which everyone agrees is not a good trade. If they shopped around, if they just said, hey, Luka's on the table, oh, man, they could have got, they may have just gotten Giannis. They could have gotten Giannis because Giannis is not very happy in Milwaukee. They could have got straight up Giannis 1-for-1, or they could have got someone else and like a boatload of first round draft picks. They could have got so much more than just AD. Look at that. We're right back to 98, guys. Man, I don't think this freight train's gonna stop. Look at Sui. Look at this recovery. Or we go see if, they got up to like 410. Or we go see, yeah, it would be crazy if they went all the way up. XRP back to 250. They were, $3 yesterday. Sol at 207. They were at 230s yesterday. Hey, DCA is the way, man. DCA is the way. It's never too late. Man, this is a crazy recovery, guys. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this. This is a crazy recovery going on right now. It looks like we're just going to FOMO right back to 100,000. H bar starting to move. Algorand. I just got, you know, those of you guys that tuned in, I just got done going over this list of American-based projects. You know, a lot of these are now like 10% better, 5 to 10% better than when I started. Even Doge is on the move. Toshi up 45%. Man, I did not. Yes, I don't know why Wendy's there. I just know. Wow, it is up 46%. Alt got brutally murdered yesterday, but man, Toshi is coming back really, really, really strong, really strong. I don't own any though. My guy Josh, you know, from 30D Gens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed his show. He's gonna be, you know, continuing to do it. You know, he told me at Toshi at like 100-something million, I think, or 200 million. I think it was 100-something million. I thought it was too big already, and then look at it now. It's like 450 million. Just so you guys know, Mark Cuban doesn't own the Mavs anymore. That's why the trade happened. If he owned the Mavs, that trade never would have happened. The volume is spiking up hardcore. Mexico made a deal with Trump. Look at it. Dow and NASDAQ are recovering big time. Dow is only minus 300 now. NASDAQ minus 300. We were just at minus 600 just like 5 minutes ago. Trump coin leads tumble. There is a conference later today at 2:30 with CryptosRUs on how U.S. is going to lead the crypto market. Oh, good timing. Good timing. It's me, Jared. I changed my name to respect my YouTube channel. It's all about spreading PLP with my dog. Stay blessed. Oh, thanks for sharing that. Albright's Fur Farm. Those dogs look pretty cute. Oh, the press conference tomorrow, not today. All right, guys. I think that's it. But we're recovering hardcore. Look at the volume spikes. Huge, huge volumes. We might be going right back to 100,000 guys. And then, like, you know, then no one's going to even remember yesterday. But still plenty of buying opportunities, I would say. A lot of the alts are still down from yesterday, from the weekend. Overall, there's still a lot of uncertainty. I don't want to downplay what's going on. Obviously, what Trump is doing could still disrupt markets. We could still have more volatility. But the main thing is, do not panic. We will get through it, no matter what. Bitcoin always does. So stay strong, stay focused. And I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And someone says Mexico tariff delayed 1 month. Ooh. That's very good. All right. See you guys.